I'm Eve Lyon, Recovery Navigator for CareerSource Research Coast. St. Lucie Recovery Works is an initiative supported by the Florida Department of Economic Opportunity. My focus is to connect the social service and treatment service providers and the judicial and law enforcement systems to the workforce development community with a goal of improving employment outcomes for people with substance use disorder. I've previously quoted this statistic, but it is so significant that it bears repeating. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimated there were more than 100,000 drug overdose deaths in the United States during the 12-month period ending in April of 2021. In the past month, there were 16 overdose deaths in St. Lucie County. Employment provides important structure as well as meaningful purpose for all people. For people in recovery, employment supports long-term recovery associated with better quality of life, greater self-esteem, and happiness. Each month, I invite guests to join me in a conversation about recovery, second chance employment, and in particular how people in recovery are making great contributions to our workforce. We know that prevention is the best course of action. An article published by the American Journal of Public Health states that reducing the risk of initial misuse of opioids may be that ounce of prevention that makes a substantial difference in a society now reeling from the worst drug crisis our country has seen. We know that adolescence is a period of risk for the initiation of substance use and the development of substance use disorders, and that peer environments and the amount of structure experienced at school and in the neighborhood assume greater importance. Tonight, I welcome guests who are dedicated to leading programs that have goals to reduce the use of alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs by cultivating communities that support substance-free lifestyles and well-being in youth. We're also privileged to have Melanie Tarnoff, a lead CareerSource career coach representing our Youth Connections programs. The mission of CareerSource Research Coast is to provide opportunities and improve lives. CareerSource provides resources for job seekers and employers. Job seekers can gain access to job readiness support, including resume preparation, interview tips, and job search strategy. For those who don't have recent work history or transferable skills, we offer training and apprenticeship opportunities. Employers are assisted with hiring employees and training staff through a variety of apprenticeship and on-the-job training programs. I know that CareerSource Youth Connections is dedicated to advancing the future of our community through youth training and development. Can you speak about the programs and services that build career pathways for young adults?
Sure. CareerSource Youth Connections is a program that connects youth to local employers by providing educational and employment opportunities through paid internships, vocational education and training, job search assistance, and support services. Our career coaches and counselors start out with career exploration activities. These are self-assessments to help the youth understand their needs, their strengths, their personality, talents, and interests, to identify a career pathway of their choice, and together we create a career plan with goals to achieve it.
Are there eligibility requirements to participate?
Youth must be 16 to 24 years of age and authorized to work in the U.S. The other requirements will depend on each person's situation and suitability.
Okay, and I know that we have a program called YES. Can you talk about the YES program?
Absolutely. Youth Employment Success Solutions, also known as the YES program, is the pre-employment training we offer to teach the young adults the required skills and strategies and knowledge to succeed in the workplace.
So comprehensive, so sorely needed in our community, and it's terrific that you're doing this work. What are the services and certifications that are available under the occupational skills and career training?
Well, we can provide and we pay for short-term career vocational training in healthcare, construction, hospitality, childcare, retail, and the food service industries. Some examples of the certifications are EMT, CNA, phlebotomy, OSHA 10, NCCER, 40-hour DCF childcare training, customer service certificate from the National Retail Foundation, and ServSafe.
I would imagine that people who participate in these programs are walking away with great credentials, employment, and able to start their careers.
Well, we provide financial assistance to complete their high school diploma or their GED test preparation, nationally recognized training certifications like those mentioned above, transportation assistance in the form of bus passes and gas cards, the paid internships, professional work attire, tools, uniforms, state IDs, driver's license, background screens, to name a few.
That is so comprehensive. We know that recovery is not only possible, but people in recovery are contributing to our community in so many positive ways. Prevention is very important because for youth ages 18 to 25, there is a 24% likelihood they have experienced alcohol or substance misuse that could lead to substance use disorder. Individuals in this age range are typically self-focused and engaged in exploring their identities, experiencing increased independence and new choices and the possibilities. I would suggest this could be the perfect time to offer resources and protective factors through Youth Connections at CareerSource Research Coast. Conducting meaningful daily activities, such as a job, school, or volunteerism, gives one a sense of purpose and connects them to their community, building positive relationships and social networks that result in support, friendship, hope, and love. Melanie, I know you have a passion for the work that you do in guiding youth to identify educational and career goals. Is there some advice that you would like to share?
Well, I have personally overcome incredible barriers in my life, and I'm a successful professional in my community. I'm an example of an overcomer, and I want to share the hope and build confidence in all youth of what can be achieved, to see the possibilities and potential for their success despite daunting circumstances.
Thank you for that. It's so important to have people like you with your spirit and dedication and commitment in our community to guide our youth. If a parent, grandparent, or youth are listening and want to learn how to access the wonderful services and resources that you've talked about, how do they contact CareerSource?
They can contact me directly, Melanie Tarnoff, at 772-233-2913, and also go to the website careersourcerc.com/youth.
Thank you so much for the work that you do, for all of the information that you brought to us tonight. And I do encourage anyone in the community who knows somebody that may benefit, or if a youth is listening and could benefit from these resources and services, please remember to reach out. That's CareerSourceRC.com. And now I will be moving on to my next guest. I would love to welcome Jovil Wharton, Project Coordinator for Drug Free St. Lucie. Drug Free St. Lucie is a network of the Roundtable of St. Lucie. For those who are not familiar, what is the mission of the Roundtable?
First, let me say thank you, Eve, for having me on your program.
Oh, we're thrilled to have you.
Thank you so much. So the Roundtable of St. Lucie County, really simply, its mission is to sustain a team of county and business leaders who mobilize resources to improve the education, health, safety, nutrition, and care of all children in St. Lucie County.
And what is the mission of Drug Free St. Lucie?
So as a network of the Roundtable, our mission is to cultivate a community that supports a substance-free lifestyle and well-being in youth through advocacy and community collaboration.
Drug Free St. Lucie was awarded a grant to support youth substance misuse prevention by the White House Office of National Drug Control Policy and the Federal Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration that we refer to as SAMHSA. Can you talk about the goals of the initiative?
The Drug Free Communities Grant provides local communities such as St. Lucie County and Drug Free St. Lucie Coalition funding to prevent youth substance use, including prescription drugs, marijuana, and underage drinking. Drug Free St. Lucie, however, focuses on underage drinking, marijuana use, mainly those two substances.
I know that there are some focus groups within the initiative.
So there are some areas broadly that we focus on in order to carry out the work of Drug Free St. Lucie. We focus on education, training, and awareness, compliance, and changing social norms.
How do you deliver the message that substance misuse is a public health concern?
Drug Free St. Lucie is a coalition, and in order for us to do that, to reduce substance use among youth within the community, we're made up of over 12 sectors. We have representation from parents, the youth, from the media, schools, youth serving organizations, law enforcement, civic and volunteer groups, the fraternal order, the health sector, state and local government, substance abuse organizations. And together we collaborate, we work on various initiatives and programs to reduce substance misuse among St. Lucie County youth.
So you are getting buy-in from the local communities to be involved at all levels to make a genuine impact and a difference by bringing them all together.
Most definitely. We have a very active and vibrant coalition that meets monthly, and everyone brings something to the table in, various forms or fashion. And again, all of this collectively helps to reduce substance misuse in St. Lucie County.
And I know that you also help to organize and promote special community events. We have one coming up in the summer I know about that I'm sure you'd like to talk about.
Oh, yes. I'm very, very excited. Our education, training, and awareness work group, we've been working really diligently for a countywide youth event. The One St. Lucie Youth Con will be held on August 6th. It's a Saturday. It will be back to school event. It's the Saturday before school starts, and it will be hosted at the Boys and Girls Club Westside Campus. And basically, we will be providing opportunities for youth to not only learn information on various topics, but we also want to empower them and provide them with skills and to hear from them on some of those same topics that are directly affecting or impacting them. We're hoping to cater for about 200 youth. It would be a day-long event from about 10:30 to 4, and it's shaping up really, really nicely.
So you essentially want to give the youth a voice regarding issues that are affecting them.
Most definitely.
People need to register in advance, I understand?
Yes, they will need to register in advance. That information will be coming out shortly, so stay tuned for that. We'll be sharing that widely throughout the community and also on our Drug Free St. Lucie Facebook page.
And then we have some other ongoing events in our community as well.
Drug Free St. Lucie not only has programs for youth, but we also definitely want to provide information to parents. Parents are young people's first resource for any kind of information, regardless. And so we have a special program for parents called Hidden in Plain Sight. It's a mock teenager's bedroom where we have over 50 items hidden in the bedroom that may indicate that a young people might be involved in substance misuse or risky behavior. And then we also have...
Well, I want to talk about Hidden in Plain Sight because I did it.
Yes, she did. She did.
It was great. I highly, highly recommend it. So if an individual, I know you do it in groups, but if an individual is interested in experiencing this, can they contact you?
Yes, they can contact me. Email jwharton@roundtableslc.org.
Okay, let's spell that. That's JWHARTON at roundtableslc.org.
Yes.
Okay, so jwharton@roundtableslc.org. And I highly, highly recommend this for anyone who's working with youth or working with parents. It's an amazing experience to learn about devices I didn't even know existed and how many can be actually purchased on the internet. And that's the scary part, is you might think that it's a bottle of water sitting on a bureau or a dresser, and actually the bottle can come apart and there's a compartment in it where things can be hidden, and that was only one out of 50 plus items. So it was very, very informative.
We definitely want to be able to equip parents and, like you said, even persons who are working with young people with that information, because young people, they know, because they're the ones that are using, and trying to hide. So they know, but adults generally are not aware.
And even, older adults who think, oh, I know, I lived through those years. Well, it's different now. It's really different now. There are devices you can buy on the internet that didn't exist when some adults were younger.
Cool things that would never go away, obviously.
Right. And then Friday Night Done Right. What's that about?
So Friday Night Done Right is part of our social norms campaign, where we encourage young people to spend their Friday nights, their weekends, to do it in an atmosphere that is fun, without any sorts of substance, alcohol, marijuana, tobacco. So that's our Friday Night Done Right social norms campaign. And then we also have a media campaign that we blasting out right now. As a matter of fact, we have a PSA that's being aired right here in the Flame.
Okay.
And we have a TV PSA that's airing on CBS 12, as well as those of you who have social media, you'll be seeing some banner ads scrolling across your phones.
And what is the message?
The message is basically geared towards parents. And the message is talk, they hear you. Parents need to start talking with their kids as early as 10 years old about substances and the dangers of using substances.
And I think it's important for the youth to know that the door is open, to have the conversation conversation. It isn't just a reprimand or a punitive discussion. It's an open dialogue to have it be a natural topic in the family when they're sitting around the dinner table and somebody might experience something with one of their friends or in a friend's home with a parent and observe something. They should be comfortable enough to come home and have the conversation with their parents, and vice versa. The parents need to know that 9-10 years old is not too young to start. And then we're going to have something in our library?
Well, we're working towards that. We'll be partnering with the St. Lucie County Library to promote our social norms campaign. So that will be coming up. So stay tuned.
Look at that.
Look for that for our Friday Night Done Right social norm campaign materials.
And then we have something else called social norms, and we have a social norms campaign. When I say we, I also sit on Drug Free St. Lucie on the committee, so that's why I'm so well informed about it. But I'm thrilled to have you here to be really specific about the campaigns that we're talking about. So under social norms, what's going on with that?
So that's the Friday Night Done Right, and we also have Far From Drugging. That's all a part of social norms, where we want to have youth understand that not everybody is using alcohol, marijuana. That is not the norm. So Friday Night Done Right is part of that. Fridays is not everybody that's getting wasted, sitting around smoking. There are young people who are doing positive activities without substances. So that's all a part of our social norm campaign.
So we are collaborating, including law enforcement, around retail sales to minors. We want to influence the hospitality and other community stakeholders to provide positive alternative gathering spots for local teens.
Yes.
So do you want to talk about the compliance check?
Sure. So like I mentioned before, we have over 12 sectors represented at the table, Drug Free St. Lucie. It is all a collaborative effort with all these agencies within the community. Law enforcement, they have their part to play as well. And one of the things that they do is alcohol compliance checks. And they're doing that in partnership with Drug Free St. Lucie in terms of we are able to collect data on the types of substances that minors are purchasing or attempting to purchase, as well as the types of retail stores that might be infraction or out of compliance.
Of selling to a minor.
Yeah, of selling to a minor.
Right.
So they're doing this quite often. So we're going to put retailers on notice.
And also, I love the way that it's being done, because it's not being done in a punitive way initially. It's an educational approach where they go in and work with the team in the store to talk about the importance of adhering to the laws and coaching them on how to do it the right way, and then go back and check and give them an opportunity to have their teams learn more and adhere to what the policies are.
Drug Free St. Lucie, like you said, we don't necessarily as a coalition wants to be punitive. That's law enforcement. Law enforcement has their part to play, and there are consequences for breaking the law. And that's where, law enforcement will enforce that. But like you say, as a coalition, we want to educate, we want to provide you with information. We don't want you, to reoffend. We don't want you to lose your license. And so that's where the partnership come in.
So what's the best way for the general community to learn about these initiatives and events?
So if you're listening and you have a Facebook page, we are very, very active on Facebook, Drug Free St. Lucie. There's information related to Drug Free St. Lucie activity that's posted, as well as community events that are also posted. We also share lots of training webinars on the website as well.
So like Drug Free St. Lucie on Facebook, and you will get prompted to be able to be aware of all of the wonderful posts that you keep the community informed about. Thank you for that. Are these initiatives achieving positive results?
I would most definitely say so. We are seeing a downward trend in youth substance use within the county, with all of the hard work that all of the different agencies, the youth serving agencies, substance, there is some positive results that we're seeing in the county.
Wonderful. And I understand that your local work has been recognized by the National SAMHSA Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
Oh, yes.
You're going to be featured?
Oh, yes, we will be featured in July's SAMHSA's newsletter. They heard about the wonderful work that we're doing with regards to our media campaign, utilizing the radio, TV, and I forgot to add, we also have a moving billboard on the bus.
Oh, right. Well, congratulations congratulations on all the great work you're doing. I know you've only been in this role for about 6 months, and my God, you're moving and shaking in the community. So doing a great job. We really appreciate that you're here and you're leading all of these initiatives. And thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you so much, Eve. Best of luck to you, and I look forward to working with you.
My final guest tonight is Casey Wood of New Horizons. New Horizons of the Treasure Coast in Okeechobee is the most comprehensive mental health and substance use recovery agency in the region, with 9 facilities across 4 counties serving 14,000 children and adults each year. For 60 years, New Horizons has provided a safety net for those in crisis, regardless of their ability to pay. I'd like to welcome Casey, who is the program manager for New Horizons student programs. Casey, New Horizons operates inpatient and outpatient mental health care that encompasses crisis units, learning resource centers, independent living, and transitional group homes, a primary care clinic, substance abuse and detox services, case management, family support and counseling, and programs in schools with law enforcement agencies. Wow, that is a lot. But tonight, I would like to invite you to speak about the programs that you oversee to help our community achieve health in both mind and body. Can you tell us about the Student Assistant Program?
Thank you so much for having me tonight, Eve. The Student Assistance Program is a school-based substance abuse and bullying prevention program, and we provide services in St. Lucie County, Okeechobee County, and Indian River County schools. In St. Lucie County, we work with students in grades K through 8, providing classroom-based services and individual services in their schools.
So the educators help students develop greater self-esteem and coping skills individually and in small groups. I know that this program is evidence-based, and across the country, the program has proven to be effective. How is the program funded?
So in St. Lucie County, we are funded through the Children's Services Council of St. Lucie County. We're funded through the Prevention Partnership Grant, and we also receive Department of Children and Families dollars through Southeast Florida Behavioral Health Network.
Now, I know these evidence-based prevention programs, but some people might not know what evidence-based means. Can you explain what that means?
So the 3 programs that we use primarily in St. Lucie County are called Too Good for Drugs, Too Good for Violence, and Botvin Life Skills Training. Too Good for Drugs and Too Good for Violence are sister programs, and they're developed by the Mendez Foundation. Basically, what evidence-based means is that the programs are based in research. All of the skills that we're providing to the students and the methods that we use have been proven to work by research that was done in the classroom setting and with youth.
Thank you for that. And can you describe some of the character-building topics and activities that youth participate in?
So in St. Lucie County, one of our primary roles is to provide the 5th grade Too Good for Drugs program. In the state of Florida, all 5th grade students are in the public school setting are required to receive a health education curriculum at some point during the school year. And so we help St. Lucie County meet that mandate by providing the Too Good for Drugs program. And at that level, some of the skills that they're learning, it's a 10-week program, and they're not just focused on don't say no or these are the risks of drugs. It's very focused on skill building and character building. So we start with teaching the students how to set a goal, and then we work with them on how to make a good decision. There's a decision-making model that they learn how to follow, and we don't tell them what decision to make. We teach them critical thinking skills so that they know how to make the best decision. They learn how to manage their emotions. They learn how to be an assertive communicator and the different communication styles. They learn how to identify healthy and unhealthy friendship qualities. They learn peer pressure refusal skills and many other skills over the course of the curriculum.
Oh, it's so important. So they're learning how to manage mistakes and disappointment, to understand peer influence, and to make healthy choices. Ultimately.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great. What ages are the children who do participate in all of the programs?
In St. Lucie County, we work with students in grades K through 8. It really depends on the school that they're at, whether or not they receive the curriculum. Each school receives the material at different levels. Of course, we're in all of the 5th grade classrooms, but some schools choose to receive the material as early as kindergarten. Some choose to start it a little later. It just depends on their availability and their needs, but it is available at all grade levels.
And is it mandatory for a child to participate?
In 5th grade, the school district requires all of the students to receive the curriculum that we provide. Outside of 5th grade, it is not required.
Okay, so it's part of their student progression plan?
It is. Yes, yes.
What are some of the age-appropriate activities that the programs actually offer to the younger participants?
So at the younger level, I really enjoy going and observing the younger classes. I enjoy seeing all of them, but especially the little ones. It's fun to see the light bulb, going off in their heads as they're connecting with the material. The kindergarten through second grade curriculum for Too Good for Violence, the facilitators have puppets that they use with the kids. And so the puppets help to teach them the skills that we want them to learn. And it's funny because when you're walking down the hall with the prevention specialist in the school and the younger students see the prevention specialist, they'll sometimes say, "Where's Tuggles?" And, they don't even, you can see that the puppets are the stars of the show.
Oh, that's great.
Yes. But at the kindergarten level, they're learning to be peacemakers. And so we teach them, these are the certain skills that we want to see in peacemakers. And so then when you use the terminology peacemaker, that connects the students back to the skills that they have learned. So for example, they learn that peacemakers share, peacemakers take turns, peacemakers introduce themselves when they're making a new friend and invite others to play with them. And so for fidelity of implementation, the classroom teacher is supposed to be in the classroom while we implement the material. While we're working with the kids, the teacher is also learning these new skills. So then when we leave, the teacher is able to use this new language and create a culture in his or her classroom for the students to remember what they've learned and to reinforce those skills. So that peacemaker language becomes a part of their classroom language.
And their core education as they grow. Hopefully this is, something that stays with them. So is the program delivered by teachers? How is it facilitated? You talked about the instructors and the facilitators, and how do they receive their training?
So we have 12 prevention specialists in St. Lucie County, and they are all employees of New Horizons within our program. And we assign them to certain schools throughout the school year. When they start, we go through a whole orientation program and train them on fidelity of implementation of the curriculum. They receive training specific to each curriculum that they'll be providing. And then part of their on-the-job training is to shadow other prevention specialists so that they're able to see them in action.
Do you have some stories or observations from the kids' perspectives regarding the success of the program?
Sure. There's definitely several, but for the sake of time, I'll give you just one. We had a student, a fifth grade student, when she received lesson 1 of the curriculum, she went through lesson 1, which was about goal setting. And at the end of the lesson, she approached the prevention specialist and she said, "I didn't know that I could set a goal. I've never set a goal for myself before." And so she said, "I set a goal today to get on the principal honor roll list." And she said, "I've never done that before." So the prevention specialist encouraged her to, achieve that goal. And they talked about the steps that she needed to take to get to that point. And so each week when the prevention specialist would come back, they would discuss after the material was completed and the student was on track. And by the end of the school year, that student was on principal's honor roll, and she had never been before. Yes. It's just a privilege to see the students connecting with what they're learning and then implementing it, on their own.
Yep, absolutely.
To see that drive.
It's working.
Yes, for sure.
So if someone's listening and they'd like to learn more about the school-based programs, how could they reach you?
My email address is CWOOD, that's cwood, at nhtcinc.org.
Okay, that's a mouthful.
It's a mouthful.
Yeah, if anybody's looking to connect with anybody who we talked about tonight or any of my guests tonight, please feel free to reach out to me and I could also make that introduction. Lyon at CareerSourceRC.com. That's ELYON at CareerSourceRC.com. Is there anything you want the community to know about prevention and school-based prevention programs?
So, one thing that I think is really important with prevention is to understand that, our goal is to ensure that we don't have some of these crises that we're currently experiencing.
Yeah.
Our Our goal is to teach these students the skills that they need, whether they're receiving them at home or in the school setting on a regular basis or not. If that is the case, then this can be reinforcement of what they're already learning. And if that's not the case, then we introduce them to these skills. And then what happens as a result of that is any risk factors that they have that could increase their likelihood of future substance use will decrease. And we will be providing them with protective factors to avoid future substance use or other risky behaviors that we want them to avoid. Additionally, schools that participate in prevention programming, the research shows that the students perform better on their standardized tests and perform better academically. And that makes sense because they're learning social skills, they're learning, how to share, how to cooperate with others, conflict resolution skills, communication skills. So it's natural that that would lead to students performing better academically.
Correct. And as you said, also the teachers benefit as well.
Absolutely.
They end up with better listening skills. They're better able to engage and redirect positively.
And it gives them some skills to, and a language to use in their classroom without them having to go and do the research and find all of that information themselves.
Well, thank you so much for all of that information. I really appreciate you coming in tonight. I'd like to thank all of my guests tonight for the very informative information that they shared. These resources are very important. If anybody is in need, you can reach out to me or you could go to 211. And I thank you for listening. Please tune in next month at 7:30 on July 25th to hear more stories about how recovery works.